All right. God bless you guys. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Welcome. Since I'm doing this publicly, I want to encourage you to go ahead and just let me know where you're tuning in from as you're jumping on. I've got a very, very important update that is just crucial that everybody knows right off the bat. So I'm going to allow just a brief moment for some people to come on. And so let me know where you're tuning in from. And in that, we are going to see some good stuff coming down the pike, guys. So come on in. Let me know once again where you're coming in from. Comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. This video is public. I just want to make sure all my community members are aware of that. I want to wish you guys a happy 4th of July as of tomorrow. And once again, I'm going to give a very, very important update on my private community. So let me know where you're tuning in from, guys. Just come on in the comment section. Let me know. Okay, let's go. We got Andrew, blessings. California Prepper 8699, San Diego. Something. From Toronto, blessings. Peanut butter jelly from Texas. Harlingen, Texas. All right, California Prepper. Crystal Prism, Idaho, happy 4th. We've got Mike from Mesa, Arizona. Guys, come on and let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's get this party started, guys. I've got a very important announcement, okay? America's finest city, he thinks. All right. San Diego, that is. From Canada, Adam, blessings. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Can we re-up for another year? I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. PB says, in the private community, my notifications do not work. I actually have a troubleshooting post on that inside the private community. I will be sure to make come back up in the feed. I'll make it a pinned post. Okay, guys, I've got a very important announcement about my private community. I'm just going to get right into it. Okay, Papa Bear Joe, but I get the peanut butter often. Okay, nice. Very good. All right. So, all right, blessings, guys. I just want to make sure that this, you always got a fresh haircut. Why, thank you. All right. You know, it's a secret of mine is that oftentimes I cut it myself, but then there are times when I don't. So I've got a good barber that moved away that I don't travel to see very often, but I think she was the one that just cut it the last time. All right. That being said, guys, I'm going to get into this. I'm going to just make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on. So I've actually cut my hair since I was 15 years old. So we're talking maybe even younger. So actually, I'm not going to tell you how old I am. That being said, guys, let's keep going. Nice. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, listen. So this announcement is the following, okay? We are stewarding several prophetic words inside my private community. All right. And the next one, the one that we're waiting on, at least for me. Okay. So there are other people that are also stewarding it with me, but, you know, not everybody's going to. But the next leg in our journey where, you know, the next word that's about to be fulfilled, when that fulfills, okay, it's going to be immediate that the rate, the price of my private community is literally going to double for the year, okay? which is still not even a lot, guys. It's going to be 20 bucks a month, but obviously you're going to have to pay for the year because we're not doing the monthly. We've already talked about that for a long time. The reason I'm bringing this up is for two reasons. I'm giving some time, for that to fulfill. Sorry, I'm giving some time for the price to update. So we're waiting on the next prophetic word to fulfill. However, sorry, my mind is just at a blank. You can get in at this time, basically what would be half price. Because at the current price, it's going to be half of what it's going to upgrade to. The reason I'm doing this, the reason I've been doing this, is just to continue. And anybody, guys, here's the reality. Anybody who's a part of my private community, they know how much time I spend producing content for my private community. Updates, continuous prophetic updates, strategy discussions, all sorts of different things. And so it is like incredibly worth the price of the annual membership of the community. You can obviously decide that for yourself if you decide to get in or not. But all I'm telling you is I'm just warning everybody that once this next fulfillment manifests, the next leg of the series of prophetic words that I am stewarding, once that fulfills, could be tomorrow, could be the next day, it could be a month from now. Once it fulfills, I'm going to completely double. Now, here's the crazy part. There are still people inside my private community that are still paying $7 a month, and they're still able to pay monthly because they never quit and they've been in from the beginning. And so those people will be grandfathered in. So whatever price range or tier you enter in at as the bare minimum, you have the ability to be grandfathered in. So if you were to get in today, for example, and paid the $120 for the year, even if I upgrade the price 5 more times, you're still going to be paying $120 a year. That's it. And so now I do have to tell you, there are zero guarantees by joining my private community that you're going to get anything beyond what I've given to date. And the reason is because I'm just continuously stewarding as I continue to receive. If there is ever a day where I discontinue receiving, whoops, that was a good sound. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. You know what that was? That's so crazy. That was the sound of me earning profits. That was the coin that I had a dream about on Saturday. God, isn't God good? Like, isn't God good? That was one of the prophetic insights that I shared in my private community on Saturday. And that's the sound. Oh my gosh. No, I got to delete that because we can't have that going on. But here's the deal. That was actually the sound of me taking some profits on the prophetic word that I had shared concerning that particular coin. And That's crazy. That is intense. All right, listen, I've got to turn off the comments. Sorry, guys. So please remember, okay, you'll be grandfathered in, whatever price point you come in at. And here's the thing is that it is my personal belief. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, is because, you know, you've seen the trolls, right? You've seen the trolls. Every time I go public, man, the critics, the haters, the naysayers, the mockers, the scoffers, right? They all come out of the woodwork. And the private community just keeps it to where it's integral, it's you know, just honorable, and so the people who deserve to be there are able to be there. And so I've had this from the very beginning. Started at $7 a month, right, just to cover my cost. And so but I know that it's going to actually grow. I know this. And so, especially when the next price point hits, naturally, there's just going to be, you know, potentially some buzz about it in the space, I'm sure. And so, that being said, guys, I'm just kind of like trying to make sure that everybody's aware that, you know, if you have been, please hear me out. If you've been playing games and riding the fence, it's been too long, or I should say it's been long enough. We've been doing this for so in 1 month, it'll be 2 years. I have no idea why my camera just went out. In 1 month, it'll be 2 years. And what that means is if people are not in by now, that from the beginning, new people can come in, that's fine. I just feel as though that the OGs need to be honored. And that honor is going to come in the form of being grandfathered in to membership fees that are practically non-existent. So I'm going to double it. It's going to be $240 a year, roughly $20 a month, but it's not going to happen until the next fulfillment occurs. And that's what I've decided. The other thing that I want to talk about today, and please remember, guys, don't ever forget, no idea what you mean by that, Corey. Have no idea. The only thing that's so I think I have an idea what you mean by that. And that's why I laughed, because I feel like it just arrived. And unfortunately, I laughed at it because it sounds very foolish, very foolish. Because there are, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, and I'll stand corrected if I am. But you know, world news, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. But God is actually definitely speaking into the world for sure. And he always has, and he always will. Light shines in the darkness, and it seizes platforms. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. You are lagging behind then. All right. Disregard. You are lagging behind. Okay. You're way behind. Sorry. You got to play catch up. That's why it was so misunderstood. It's completely out of context, at least right now. Okay. Well, congrats. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the fact that these indicators, the fact that these indicators are going to be going out of sale soon. And that's what I was actually going to refer to when I thought that Corey was trolling. And so because the indicators, and that's kind of where I was going with what, and I know Corey is, I hate these YouTube handles, man. Ever since they changed this, you don't even know who you're speaking to anymore. And so it's so hard to know who is who. I've got people inside my private community that come out here, they're by a completely different name. And I'm like, I've had to tell one guy, tell me who you are in the community. But as far as these, man, I've got a coin. In fact, I'm probably going to release this inside my private community later on, but I've got a coin that I'm eyeballing. And it's because of what these indicators are showing. And I want to show my private community what's going on with that, because it is it's pretty impressive, actually. It's very impressive. So I'm gonna share that inside my private community. It's not prophetic. That's just by using these indicators. But that being said, I want to pull this up here, guys. Whoops. Can't pull it up now. There we go. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Almost had the wrong one on there. All right. These indicators are about to go off sale soon, guys. And I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of what's happening here, okay? So once again, these volume bubbles, all right? These volume bubbles are showing you when you've got, big whales buying and selling, okay? So you have these sale bubbles that occurred, and obviously you could see even afterwards, the price would continue to drop. Same here. So oftentimes these can be indicators, not always, but when you get these notifications, they can be indicators that you're about to see a movement in the space. Sometimes the movements happen shortly after you get the notifications that there are whales dumping. Sometimes it happens instantly, and other times it actually doesn't happen at all. So these are just simply these are obviously crucial to people. Think about, like, if you're stewarding a flash crash, for example, it would be very nice to get an alert on your phone to let you know that there's a big dump going on right now. Okay. That being said, we're going to turn off the volume bubbles. We're going to go over here to the market cycle highs and lows. This one is super incredible because it is telling you when a coin goes into fear or max fear. And that's what I want to share with you guys in the private community in a little bit. I'm going to go over that because I got something I want to show you. That being said, so this is incredible to know when a coin goes into fear or max fear, because that can be an incredible buying indicator, because as they say, buy the fear, sell the greed, right? And so it's all emotion based, guys. Most of the market is trading emotionally. That's why most people lose, unfortunately. It's like the casino where the house always wins, but there's very few people that actually beat the house, right? And however, this is different than a casino because it's not just a slot machine. This is where you can actually use calculated techniques, self-discipline, and all these different things, and indicators with signals. So this is the market cycle highs and lows, one of my favorites, absolutely, bar none. And then you've got the Pro Trade Manager, guys, which is going to show you, when it's time to basically make a buy. And so as you can see here, it printed the buy indicator on June 27th. I actually went live and told you guys this. And I told you that this is basically pinning that we're at a bottom. Okay. Hello. Look at what just happened. Okay. It went up. Same with over here. Okay. Basically printed, went down, but then it went up. Okay. And this is even in a horrible market right now. This is even in a horrible market because like we're in a, really, we're still in a bear market. And so until we get this turnaround and get a bull run, we're just kind of flatlined. Every little move that happens, we think it's, incredible because it's just moving upward, trying to give us some sort of hope right now. And so, but the reality is that these are the indicators. This is the Pro Trade Manager. And remember, you can get the alerts set to your phone when it prints this green dot telling you to buy. Okay. And so, and by the way, time has not evolved yet. We still don't know where this is going. Okay. It could potentially go higher. Right. And of course, the indicators are never 100%. They're, higher probability. And I think they're functioning on like 85% is the range that I was explained, right? From the creator of them. And so you can change the accuracy. You can change the accuracy. Don't forget, guys, remember the silver. Where's the silver? Right here. Remember the silver? And now I told you guys on the highest accuracy setting, it printed the third dot. Remember, I said it printed the third dot on in the third dot in 3 years, almost 3 years. The fourth one was printed in October of 2023, I think. Let's take a look. Yep, October of 2023. So there's only been 3 dots printed since October of 2023 on the highest accuracy setting of this Pro Trade Manager. And guess what it did? It printed one on the 24th. Okay. Now it looks like it took off from there and went upward. That's a little bit inaccurate because this line doesn't move like the candles do. It just shows the change in direction when it began. So if I cause it to disappear and I pull up the body, borders, and wicks of the candles, you can clearly see, well, I guess it actually did. I guess it actually did go up from there. My apologies. So, yeah, it basically, frankly, called the bottom. That's incredible. And so, but I have noticed that these lines are not always, exact. And the reason is, look at this one here. Like, see how low it came down here on this day, but that line just kind of goes straight through. That's kind of what I mean. That's all. Not that it's, lying to you or anything, just the way that it's designed. That being said, that is pretty cool, man. And that's what the accuracy of these indicators are, guys. And the reality is, guys, I really don't want you guys, and I've been guilty of it before. I've been guilty of it before. Whereas I'm reluctant to buy something, and then it runs out of the sale. And then I'm like, I really need to buy this. And then I buy it at the inflated price point. I've been known to do that. And so I'm just trying to get it out to you guys. Okay. I really, really believe in these indicators. And if you haven't gotten one yet, here's my invitation to show you. And by the way, I got to give a shout out here to my community member here that I thought was a troll because I was misunderstanding what he was saying. But when he was talking about the world news, there is stuff that goes along with the prophetic. And one of those things is the wisdom that is given to even the non-prophetic people, such as these indicators. Because if you remember, in January, God spoke to me and told me that silver was going down to the $60 range. Now, it was in the $90 range at the time, guys. And he also showed me where it's going up after the $60 range. And I'm very excited about that because we just purchased at the bottom. You know what's crazy is I was on the phone with the guy who created these indicators. And I told him about my dream about silver. And I said, yeah, man, I bought a bunch of silver today. I said, we are at the place that God spoke to me back in January. And while we were on the phone, he starts pulling up the charts. And he starts looking and he's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's like, this is gold. And he threw 20K in on silver that day and then went live with his community telling them that he just put 20K on silver. And you know what else he did? He just doubled down on his position. He went in stronger again, I think yesterday. The reality is this, guys. I am amazed at the accuracy of these indicators. And so I'm not going to tell you that they equate to the voice of God, okay? Not going to tell you that at all. But what I am telling you is that for the people who can appreciate some good technical analysis while they're stewarding a prophetic word, or, like in this case, to bring you confirmation, because that was incredible confirmation to me. It was incredible confirmation to me. But not only was it confirmation to me on the prophetic accuracy, but it was also confirmation that these indicators are fire. They're just flat fire. And so the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I just don't want anybody. This is what happened yesterday. I was talking to the creator of these indicators, and he says, John, you're not obligated. I told him, I was like, I'm getting ready to do another video today because I haven't done one yet. And he's like, you're not obligated to, I'm like, listen, man. I said, I know I'm not, and I appreciate that. I said, however, I said, I feel that I have an obligation to my audience to do my due diligence. So that way, in 10 days from now, somebody can't come at me and be like, listen, I had no idea, should have told me or whatever. And the reality is not everybody catches every one of my lives, especially the ones that are public, because a lot of it is redundant. That's the ones that are public, because I'm just trying to get the community's attention that's outside the private community to make sure that they're aware of what's going on. So there's $100 off coupon, 4th of July special on these indicators. And the sale ends soon. And so I'm just trying to make sure that everybody's aware of what's on the table. And let me just quickly go over the three indicators, okay? That being said, you have the market cycle highs and lows. This is the one where it shows you where we're at in the market. How did I end up on the highlighter? How do I do this to myself? This is nice, though. I like this. So you've got the graph where you can cause the candlesticks to be disappeared. And then when you turn on this indicator, it actually creates this line to follow the path of those candlesticks to show you where we're at in the market. Right now, we're just in mild caution on Bitcoin. I'm sorry, this is silver. Mild caution. This is not, a fear or greed. where it would be very easy probably to determine, that might be a good buying opportunity. That's why these indicators are very much, independent of one another. Because even though this is nowhere near the fear and greed, this indicator, the Pro Trade Manager, told you to buy because it said, I believe this is the bottom. And look, it exactly was the bottom. And so the point is, this Pro Trade indicator printed the third green dot in almost 3 years on the most accurate setting, right? Highest accuracy. Highest accuracy. And it basically called the bottom. That's what it did. Now, obviously, there's nothing guaranteeing the future other than what I believe to be prophetic, and even the prophetic sometimes doesn't show you every ebb and flow. So it could go down, right? And then it could go up. But I believe, based upon what I've seen, that this is the bottom, and it actually called it. And that's really, really sweet. And so the point is that you've got the Pro Trade Manager, which is basically your personal professional trader. That's what it is. Obviously, it's not a human. It is actually an indicator that was built specifically by a professional trader who also put all of his data and ran it into, and even asked AI where he could improve. And AI responded, and he said, yes, I approve of this. No, I disapprove of that, whatever, to build this out. And so it has all of his, professional trading strategies built into it, plus the enhancements that perfected it that was given by AI. And remember, there is a code written into all these indicators that tell them that they are not to repaint. Repainting is when the indicators, some of these Joes out there will build these indicators and they'll go back in time and they'll change all the data to make it look like it was this exceptional indicator that pinned every top and every bottom. And it's a lie. It's a deception. So they have a code written in their indicators to make sure that that never happens, even on accident. Even on accident. And so the only thing that would ever repaint would be if there was any sort of data mix-up on the TradingView portal, and then TradingView went in and corrected the data that it was displaying, which is standard. That makes total sense. Obviously, it's TradingView, right? And so that's it. So there's integrity, there's incredible accuracy, there's sophistication on the back end with simplicity on the front end. I just love these things. And then, of course, boom. Oh, you can't even see them on the silver because I do this all the time. It's so funny. Watch. Look at the difference in the volume bubbles on this on the precious on the Bitcoin versus the silver. Watch this. Ready? Now we're going to go to silver. It's so funny. Like, there's just almost non-existent on the precious metals. I wonder if gold is bigger. No, they're still small on gold. But on crypto, they're huge. Big volume bubbles. These can tell you and give you real-time alerts to let you know that that somebody is dumping Bitcoin, and it'll send an alert to your phone in real time, and it'll say there's a whale dumping right now, and then you could pull up your charts, look at what's going on, etc. Really cool stuff. So 3 indicators that have the sale price going on. Obviously, the volume bubbles, you just saw that. Then you've got the market cycle highs and lows. You just saw that. See that disappearing and reappearing. And then you've got the Pro Trade Manager over here. That's the Pro Trade Manager that prints, okay, the signals to buy and sell. And it pins the top you know, we've gone over the data on these things. They're super, super incredible. Now, the one that doesn't have a coupon attached is this. Whoops. The one that doesn't have the coupon attached is this EMA distance analyzer. And this shows you how far away from the moving average we are at the time. And this is super huge. If you go back in the you know, historical and you look at research this, it's just incredible. For example, if you go to this one right here, where Bitcoin crashed, you know, on February, it was a slow crash, but nonetheless, it was a crash. Look at how far away from the moving average this came. That's what I pointed out before. And so these are very, 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 very amazing indicators, guys, that you just gotta have. Okay. So if it's up to you, sorry, not if it's up to you. Hold on just a second. All right. So that being said, it's your choice on which one or two or seven. There's only 4 there, but which one you want to get. But I just want to make you guys aware that these indicators are on sale. They've been on sale for a few days. It's the 4th of July special, and they're going off sale soon. So the reason is because it's a 4th of July promo, and it's $100 off each of one of these indicators. If you join my private community, there's a coupon code in there for $125 off. And so the creator of these indicators was able to do that for our people just as a token of generosity. So here's the thing. I just announced, if you were not on live earlier, I told everybody that the cost of my private community, the membership, is doubling the next prophetic fulfillment that we have. Not for any other reason except that it's just time. And people are still grandfathered in at the $7 a month. And I want to keep doing this because I want to keep honoring the people who did not snub their nose for the past, 2 years or the past, year or whatever. And at some point broke the hardened shell that kept them tuning in, but prevented them from jumping in. Because the reality is that it's kind of like the words of Christ when he said, I'd rather you be hot or cold than lukewarm, or I'll spit you out of my mouth. He's like, pick a side, homie, right? Just either be in or don't be in, but don't be double-minded. And so it's just a way to honor the people that have honored what I've brought to the table. That's it. And to grandfather in all of those people. When I upgrade the price never changes for the people that are already in. So if you got in today, for example, I don't know when the next prophetic fulfillment is occurring. I don't have the date. But when it does, could be tomorrow morning. If it is, the price of the community will be doubled immediately. And the reason I'm saying this is because if you got in today, for example, and you're paying the $120 a year, which is roughly $10 a month, guys. Good grief. Everybody in there knows I give it my all. I spend so much time pouring out to the members all the time. Okay. That being said, if you got in today, you would be grandfathered into that price. So even if I raised the price tomorrow and it doubled, even when your renewal came up next year, you would still be able to renew at the price that you're getting in today. That's the beauty of this. Think about the people that signed up for $7 a month. They still renew every single month for $7 a month, guys. Point blank. That's just how it is. And I haven't changed any of that, and I'm not going to, because I believe that the OGs who have been with me from the beginning They deserve to be honored, just like I deserve to be honored. And I am doing my part in honoring them. And it's going to stay that way. But watch this. If I raise the price 5 more times, which I believe I will, and the reason why is because, number one, we're obviously giving people a chance to make some money. Obviously, that's what, and I've even told my community this from the beginning, that after people begin to make money, that obviously the prices will begin to increase. And eventually, I believe our community is going to be made up of high net worth individuals, where people who know how to honor, because that's what got them there. You understand that there are spiritual laws that are connected to prosperity. I'm just telling you the truth. For the majority of people, 100%, there are spiritual laws that are connected to people. And I always tell people all the time, if you're one of those people that cannot honor, the CEO of McDonald's, or, President Trump because he's a billionaire, or Elon Musk because he's a trillionaire, like these joker Democrats are doing. It's crazy. If you can't honor those people for what they've succeeded, you will never become that. Point blank. And so my point is I believe our community is going to be made up of high net worth individuals. At the point that obviously more traction begins to take root, because people are going to begin to catch wind of what's happening. And I mean, financially successful people can also translate into being smart people too, because they're not dumbed down by being their own worst enemy. They were smart enough to listen, is what got them to where they're at. Chances are. That's the point, right? And so that's what I believe we're going to see in the coming days. So I'm just putting it out there, guys. Like, listen, the reality is you, the person watching right now, the person watching the replay, okay? I'm speaking to you personally right now, as if you're the only one watching this screen right now. Let me just talk to you and say this. If you join or don't join, it is not going to change anything about what I'm doing. Please understand that. I don't need you inside the private community. The private community is put there for your benefit, and that's it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your, spiritual genie in a bottle. That's not what this is about. It's about camaraderie. It's about community. It's about discipleship. It's about fellowship. It's about strategies. It's about, growing together, learning together. It's about a marathon and not a sprint. It's about all these things stacked together to make it what it actually is. Not everybody's going to appreciate it. Not everybody's going to like it. Some people are going to thumb their nose to it. Some people are going to think that, I'm the devil for doing it. It's just, the opinions are going to be all over the place. But the reality is the only people that are going to benefit from it are the people that are in it. That's it. That's it. And so my point is whether you get in or not is not going to bother me. Please understand that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do with or without you. I'm just letting you know what I believe the Lord is doing, and I want everybody to be a part of it. And I don't need to come out here and tell you guys that the price is going to double when this next prophetic word hits. I don't need to tell you that. I could have just done it. But because my heart is, I want to get everybody in that private community at the cheapest place possible, because I believe that honor is super, super important. Then here you have it. I'm giving you guys an opportunity. That's it, guys. The reality is, your $120 for an annual subscription is not going to make me wealthy. Hopefully that sinks in. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. That being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. This thing, by the way, those indicators can work on every single thing. Forex trading, precious metals, stocks, crypto. Okay. So really, really neat stuff. Obviously, if you have any questions, you can message me inside the private community if you're a member. If you are not, and you still want to message me because you have questions or need help, or I'm trying to find, oh, and the links are in the description section, guys. Also, don't forget the silver. On the link for that to buy the digital form. Listen, when the creator of those indicators told me that this exchange is now offering everything like stocks and everything, I was like, this is crazy. I'm so blessed to know this. And they're the easiest to get in. And so you can buy digital silver at 1x. So it's the, dollar for dollar follows the spot price of silver. SLV would be the ticker. And that's all in the description section. The link to get started is as well. And then AGQ is the 2x. So as the price rises, you're going to earn double for every dollar it rises, theoretically. Okay. And there's another crypto prophetic minister that had a prophetic word about this right here. And what's interesting is that he actually saw the bottom as well and called it out as well. So this is a cool deal right now. I cannot, though, tell you that it's without risk. You need to know your risk on all of this stuff. You don't do anything simply because I'm telling you what I believe. Okay. That being said, let me find my email address so I can put this joker on here. Where is it? I must have just blown right through it. Yeah, I did. All right. So that's my email address, guys. guru@mydefiguru.com. All right. If you want to email me, if you have any questions, anything at all, guys, I help people all the time. I spend my time helping people. I've had people that have come over to my home. They're like, can you help me set up limit orders? I'm like, yep. They're like, can you help me get into this? Yep. And so I help people all the time. I spend a lot of time on what God has called me to. However, okay, I have to survive. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm surviving. Okay. That's it, guys. Appreciate you guys being on. Don't forget, all the links are in the description section below. Yeah. I'll talk to you soon. God bless, guys. Don't forget, for those in my private community, I'm getting ready to go live in just a minute because I'm going to talk to you about this coin that I really think you need to take a look at. It's not prophetic. It's what I saw on the indicators that somebody else told me about, and I want to run it by you, have you take a look. Okay. That being said, guys, God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.